Hello, goobers. Welcome to Rainbow Six Siege. Siege is a tactical shooter that can be described in one word. But only for people who have aim, like this. Now, in order to save ourselves from potato aim like that, we need to find our perfect sensitivity. Now, to find our sensitivity, we need to mess around with these three different settings. Our vertical sensitivity, our horizontal sensitivity, and lastly, our ADS sensitivity. Vertical sensitivity controls when we look up and down and how much we need to pull down when controlling recoil. Horizontal sensitivity controls our left and right. And finally, our ADS sensitivity, which controls our aim down sight speed. When finding our vertical sensitivity, some people like using a high vert because they like pulling down less when controlling recoil. But there are some people who like using a low vert because they like pulling down more when controlling recoil. So in order to find our vertical sensitivity, we're going to set our vertical to 50. Now after we set it to 50, we're going to shoot at the bullseye. And as you can see, I'm pulling down way too much because I like using a low vert, which is 25. But 50 might be perfect for you. But if it isn't, up it by 2 or 5 or lower it by 2 or 5 until you find your sweet spot. Like so. Next, we're going to move on to finding our horizontal sensitivity. Now when finding our horizontal sensitivity, we gotta ask ourselves this. Do we want to be able to track with our hipfire or do we want to be able to do 180s? Having a higher horizontal allows us to do 180s, which can be a lifesaver if someone is behind you and you need to turn around quickly. But this comes at a cost of being less precise with your hipfire. You're not always going to be on target when you're doing a 180 or when you're flicking to someone. But on the other hand, having a lower horizontal allows us to track better with our hipfire and be more precise at the cost of not being able to turn around as quickly. Now to find our horizontal sensitivity, you can either track the ball or you can try and do 180s. We're going to set our horizontal to 50. If you're overshooting, lower it by 2 or 5. If you're undershooting, up it by 2 or 5. Keep doing this until you find your sweet spot, but don't get frustrated if you're not on target all the time. You just need to get close enough to where it's comfortable to you. Next is our ADS sensitivity. Now to find our ADS sensitivity, you want to use this calculator. Make sure the aspect ratio is set to 16:9 and set the FOV to whatever you use. Copy down these settings. Don't worry about the 1.5 or 2x scopes. They got sent to the void. Now after you copy down those settings, pick a gun that has high recoil that you like using. Then you want to shoot at one of these doors while moving back and forth. The reason we're doing this is to see if our sensitivity is good at wrapping around the door and controlling recoil. But if you're pulling down too much or you feel like when you're wrapping the corner your tracking feels off, go back to the website and increase your sensitivity by 2 or 5 or lower it by 2 or 5 until you find your sweet spot. Now if you don't want to shoot at the door, you can always just try and track the ball. If you're overshooting, lower it by 2 or 5. If you're undershooting, up it by 2 or 5. But don't think because you found your comfortable sensitivity you're gonna have the aim of a god. No. You're still gonna brick, unless you do these aim drills. The first aim drill we will be doing is flicking. Doing this will help us be more consistent with our aim and allow us to hit those nasty flicks like an Adderall addicted Ashman. Now if shooting the big balls feels a little too easy, you can always move around to make it more difficult. And if that is too easy for you, you can move on to shooting the small balls. And again, if you want to make it more difficult, try moving around while trying to hit them. The next drill will help us with our tracking. This will help us with our tracking and recoil control and allow us to gun down those lobotomized Ashmans. If you want to make it more difficult, you can increase the target distance. So yeah, that's pretty much how you find your sensitivity. I hope this video helped you, and if it did, please drop a like and subscribe, and God bless you goobers. Until next time.